Hello, welcome team. Welcome to my live on female health covering of sleep today. If you are on the Facebook, the Healthy Well Women group, then please give StreamYard your permission to show your name so I know when you come on and say hi, I know who it is. If you've got any questions, I know who it is. Otherwise, I can't see and I just say hi and I'm like, hi, random person. So yeah, let me know. And if you're catching the replay, hashtag replay. And then if you're in the Healthy Well Women group, spread the word, share it with friends. We're building that community to really be supportive of each other. I know there's quite a lot of female groups out there, but I personally have found that some of the female groups, kind of Edinburgh-based ones, are very much they get to pick and choose who they want in their group. And if you're seen as one of many, they don't necessarily want to engage with you. So I've found that a bit disappointing. So I just want to create a group where we just big each other up. I help you with nutrition. I help you with training. I help you with female health, anything else that's going on, life coaching wise too. And I just want to bring a real true group where we can be ourselves and express how we're feeling, what's going on in our lives, and share that and feel like we can in a private community where we genuinely support one another and help each other through whatever it is we're struggling with. So yeah, that's my mission. So feel free to share that with friends. There'll be more and more coming on the site soon. As you see, we're building momentum and just getting the group really going. And of course, if you want to add anybody, just drop me a note or send them the link and you can do that. All right, let's get on to female health. My shadows today, my lighting's not been very good today. I don't know what's going on with it. I think it's a mixture of it being raining and daylight. Yeah, a whole host of things going on. But yeah, so I want to cover off sleep because this is something that I touch on with clients who come to me for weight loss, because sleep is one of the fundamental things we need. And what happens when our body's stressed, we tend to hold on to the stress. And that can mean a number of things. So I know we all hear about 7 to 9 hours as your ideal, but it is different for everybody. That's the truth. Some people have never needed a lot of sleep, and for some people, they need always 9 hours or it's like game over. So it's very individual to you and your own patterns. But what I would say about sleep, you know, right, when you wake up, you know whether you feel good or not, if you've had a good night's sleep. I'm not got my tracker on, but I stopped wearing mine for sleep a while ago because I found it was actually disturbing my sleep. And I was like fiddling about on it, and some nights I'd taken off in the night and not remembering that I'd actually done that. And I just found it was a bit of a distraction and disturbing me in the night when it got a bit tighter. So I decided to take it off because sometimes as well, I was looking at the tracker and say that I had a rubbish night's sleep. And I was like, no, I feel pretty good on it. So yeah, I like to go with how I feel when I wake up. Do I feel tired? Is it in my body I feel tired? Is it in my mind? I always say there's two different types of tiredness. There's physical and mental tiredness. And you'll be like, yeah, Julie, I know what you're saying. So the difference is, physical is when you're lying in bed and your body doesn't want to move, but your brain's like, let's go. Whereas the other side is when you're mentally tired and you just don't want to do anything, but your body's a bit fidgety with energy. So there's definitely a difference. And if you're someone who works seated a lot, then at the end of the day, you're probably mentally fatigued to being at the screens, but your body's got a bit of energy to burn off, but your mind's like, can't be bothered. Tired, can't be bothered. But if you go to boot camp or a fitness class, then you'll actually find the energy from somewhere. So that's the two types I would say between physical and mental tiredness, the difference between the two. So tune into your two. And like I say, tune into how you feel when you wake up, if you feel tired or not. And what I see, a lot of us kind of have fear of missing out, right? So we stay up late at night just to case we miss out of anything. And I think particularly now we're coming into summer, the tendency will be more and more of that. But it's going, actually, what value is it adding for you staying up later? Or actually, do you find yourself just snacking, sitting with screen face, as I call it, for the telly, staring at space? Or you end up having a coffee or a couple of drinks to give you that energy boost to keep you going. And before you know it, it's midnight, 1 a.m., and you're still wide awake. So really tune into your patterns and habits around your bedtime routine and why you're not going to bed if you're feeling tired. It sounds intuitive, right? You're tired, go to bed, but we tend to do one more thing, especially females. We'll just do the dishes, we'll tidy the washing away, we'll do one more thing and try and get one more thing done. And if you're under pressure at work, certainly there's the temptation just to sign on, answer a few emails, work on a few things to clear it for the next day. So really think about actually what does 7 to 9 hours look like for you. And when we talk about 7, 9 hours, that doesn't mean it's continuous 7, 9 hours. So the thought is that the kind of 7 to 9 hours is a bit of a man-made construct to work with the 9 till 5. Super convenient, right? You work 9 till 5, sleep 7 to 9 hours, bam, kind of works. So think about actually back in the day, people would naturally wake up in the night for a few hours. It wasn't the worst thing. They'd, maybe go around, make some babies, whatever it might be. So it wasn't necessarily a bad thing that people woke up. It's just now we have this, bam, your day's got to go. You've got to be somewhere at a certain time. So that's where it tends to be an issue. You know what it's like? Your alarm goes off just as you fell asleep. That kind of feeling. Whereas actually sometimes it is completely natural for us not to sleep all through the night. But let's get on to about female health side of things. So first up, your sleeping patterns are unique to you. Go by how you feel when you wake up. And now when we talk about sleep disturbance around hormones, it tends to be on the run up to your period. So it can be the week before your period. You might have 2 or 3 nights that you don't really sleep very well. And no particular reason. It's not necessarily you're stressed, you've got a load on your mind, you're just far awake and a bit restless and don't really sleep. And the other thing is around perimenopause. So it's something I've experienced myself within the past year, where again on the week before, although I would have disturbed nights with perimenopause, that's become a bit more, shall I say, advanced, where I'd be waking up at 2 in the morning, bam, wide awake till like 5 in the morning. Like, what the hell? I've got a load of work done. So I always say to clients, if you do wake up in the night, don't just lie there hoping to fall back to sleep, because there's nothing more punishing than just lying in bed trying to fall back asleep, going sleep, sleep, sleep. Try and get up and do something. And I know you might be thinking, yeah, but I've got work at 8, I've got this or whatever. But honestly, try and get up and just burn off the energy and be able to go back to bed and get a few hours sleep rather than lying there spark awake. So like I say, that's for me is intensified with perimenopause. In terms of things that I've done around that, so what I actually done was look at what can I do supplement wise around that, how can I help myself in a natural way. So one of the things that I've done is take a magnesium and a taurine supplement. Now I don't prescribe supplements, I'm not qualified to, I'm just suggesting things that you may want to try that I've tried off the back of the training and research I've done around Lara Bryden's work around female health. So for me, I've taken magnesium and taurine supplement, and that has done wonders to the point when I'd appeared the last few months. I've been like, oh, I never woke up in the night. So magnesium is thought that we're all got a magnesium deficiency because of the issues with the soil quality these days. So we're not getting the same nutrients in our food that our grandparents did. So we're all thought to be kind of what's the word, deficient. That's the word, deficient in magnesium. So it's across the board, and magnesium is essential for so many functions within our body. So even if you're not sleeping issues, then your magnesium is still a good go-to. But of course, if you're on any medication, check with your doctor. Now, taurine is a calming. So in energy drinks, you'll often see caffeine and taurine in it as well. And taurine is that calming effect. So whilst the caffeine gives a high, it just means people aren't like literally having wings, so it brings them down to that balance area. So taurine is a calming effect for us. So that's one of the things you can try. So obviously we spoke about kind of sleep routine, not having the coffee, maybe not having a few alcoholic drinks, because you know how much alcohol disturbs your sleep before you go to bed. So think about your sleep hygiene on the way up, but at the same time, if you're still not sleeping, look at natural supplements around magnesium, taurine, vitamin B6 is another one. I know I've got a client who goes for vitamin B6 injections for different reasons. But yeah, and there's another one called glycerine. I think it's glycine. Yeah, glycine, and that's thought to be another kind of safe one to take before bed because it does make you drowsy and sleepy. And it's all about the histamine response in our body. And this is something I've learned a lot about having sore breasts again. So as we go through perimenopause, menopause, it's our second puberty. So symptoms we got as teenagers start to rear their head again. And that's why for me, breast pain was coming back, which is never great when you're jumping around. So that's why I've looked a lot into this stuff about what am I experiencing, you know, even with anything, fitness and nutrition, life coaching, what have I experienced over the past 8 years, and how can I condense that and give it to you guys, to my clients, so that you can shorten time and start to live a quality life now rather than you having to research and find these things out over 8 years. So yeah, taurine, magnesium and glycine are the three that are thought to help with sleep. And for me, magnesium and taurine has helped. So yeah, have a little look on that. If you want a link to the information to read about it, I always like to give people knowledge so you can decide yourself whether it's something you want to try or not. So I always say, think about trying these things, but of course, you know, like anything, experiment with your own body. It's your own body. So why does it happen? Well, the reason with hormones, well, particularly perimenopause and menopause, it's the highs and lows of the hormones. Okay, so it's that thing about when we go through this, it's like our second puberty. So we'll have rises and falls in hormones, and it's thought with menopause, it's because we lose both the progesterone and the estrogen, which controls the circadian rhythm. So we've heard of it before. That's our sleep rhythm, our natural sleep rhythm of going to sleep when it's dark and waking up when it's light. And because we lose the estrogen, it causes a bit of insomnia, which is typical of the 2 to 3 a.m. waking up. And it's thought that over time, sleep for most people normally returns once we get through that stage. But obviously, it's a long time. It's 10 years from perimenopause to menopause. It can be a long time. Therefore, you do want to kind of try and do something around it. So like I say, there's the natural supplements. Other things you can do is around making sure you've got a cool room. So one of the things that happens before a period, perimenopause, menopause, is the hot flushes, right? You get hot, your body naturally gets hotter. So to help with things like night sweats, hot flushes, and waking in the night, keeping a nice cool room. So keeping a cool room can help with that. So think about your sleep hygiene in terms of not having the coffee. Caffeine has I think it's 5-hour window of life in your body. So that caffeine's in your body for 5 hours. So think about, not having a coffee after 5 p.m. Think about what you can do around making sure your room's cool, making sure that actually you're winding down. So for a lot of my clients, I give them actions around digital detox to wind down and not be staring at screens. And I get a lot of questions about like, well, what about if I've got a Kindle? And what about if my phone's on kind of like night mode? And I'm like, try to not use your eyes, not use your eyes and read stuff. Yes, if you've got a paper book, old school, but in terms of screen light and staring at screens, our association with screens is busyness, work, actions. So try and have a cool and calming bedtime routine that's not looking at some form of screen. So think about reading a book, think about, meditation apps, things like that, where you're not actually staring at your phone, but just to help you if you do struggle to drift off. So cool room, something to calm you beforehand. It might even be a long hot bath that's proven to help calm. Then, like I say, the glycine at bedtime is safe as well. And then also you can look at your magnesium, taurine, vitamin B6 if you want to complement those. So you've got your natural supplements, you've got your cool room, you've got your bedtime ritual, coming off the social medias, coming off the screens, making sure you're chilled out and relaxed, even stretching your body. I done a stretch last night because we carry tension in our body. So even stretching out. So what you can do to relax into your bedtime routine. And then if you do wake up in the night, because sometimes it just happens, then making sure you've got a book nearby to read. You can come on your sofa, pull a comfy little rug blanket over you, get warm, read a book, whatever it is you need to do until you feel ready to go back to bed where you're actually going to fall asleep. And say you have a really poor night's sleep, that impact is going to be on your eating habits. So what's going to happen if you've not slept well is you're going to crave the comfort foods. You're going to crave the sugary snacks to keep you going. You're going to crave the coffees because your body's like, we're tired. Let me sleep, Julie. But you're like, can't. I've got this to do. I've got to be here. I've got to do this. So you've got to think about actually how can I compensate for that? So things like the protein balls that I made on Monday, they're a great thing to keep you going, keep the energy high, and it feels like you're having something sweet treat, but they're fueling your body well. So things like the homemade protein balls, making sure you're hydrated, getting the water in, and it's thinking, okay, I know I've had a good breakfast. I had a protein breakfast. I had a protein lunch. I'm still starving. I know it's because I'm tired. So what can I do? Get the water in, have the high quality protein snacks to help you through, and then try and get early night. I spoke about FOMO, fear of staying up. If you've had a bad night's sleep and you're knackered, go to bed at 9. Don't feel guilty about it. Do what you need to do. And it's also that thing of being female. We tend to want to please other people. But yeah, if you need to say, I'm knackered and you go to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock, then do it. That whole FOMO of missing out, you're not going to miss out on that much. And there's nothing much happens after that time in the night. So it's really about the self-care, looking after yourself. And again, not getting stressed if you don't sleep. But again, look into it. So say we're taking natural supplements for our hormones, say we've got a really good sleep routine and we're in a cycle, but we're still waking up, then go and speak to your doctor. If it's becoming a problem where week on week you just have total insomnia and you're just not getting any sleep, and you're dragging yourself around, then you don't just live with it and accept that's how it's going to be. Go and have a conversation with your doctor around it. Always take action on what's happening in your body. We put up with so much because it becomes normal for us, becomes a normal thing, but actually it's not normal. So if it is like you've tried the natural supplements, you've got the bedtime routine, then you can take that to your doctor. Track your patterns. I wake up at this time. I've been taking these supplements to try and help. This is how I'm feeling. This is what's going on, and nothing's working. And go and seek help for it. So don't put up with it. And in terms of natural supplements, you kind of want to leave it 90 days to get in your body to see if it's benefiting you. And of course, it could be other symptoms. Of course, it could be stress. If there's stress in your house, stress with your work, you'll know the difference when something's keeping you up at night because you're worrying about finances, you're worrying about work, you're worrying about a relationship, you've had an argument with your partner, whatever it may be, you will know what's keeping you up. And again, if you want to release that, another top tip, keep giving extra value. Another top tip is to journal. Like, just have a blank piece of paper, write down everything that's in your head, let it all go. No one else needs to read it. It doesn't need to be in neat handwriting. Just let it go. Journal everything that's in your head, and then you can just burn it, bin it, whatever, tear it up into a million pieces. That is purely for you, and just let go of everything that's in your head, and then try and go back to bed and see if that helps. All right, team, to recap then, and I'll go a little bit over. I like to keep this short and sharp. So recap, bedtime ritual, routine, trying to stay off the screens, have your bedroom cool, making sure that you're not having any caffeine drinks and any alcohol after 5 p.m. if possible, so you're not firing up those areas of your brain that's going to spring awake in the middle of the night. So cool room, sleep rituals, things to calm you down, no screens, no caffeine, no alcohol, and then heading to bed 9:30, 10, whatever feels good for you, because the earlier you go to bed, the more you're allowing for that time that you might wake up and not be sleeping. Okay, so 9:30, 10, aim for bed, and then you're able to get up in the morning feeling fresh. So if you wake in the night, have some activity to do in terms of reading a book. It might be journaling out your emotions, your head, what's going on, something that you want to do that you've not done for ages. It might be searching for a birthday present for someone, but just give yourself something to do so you're warm and cozy, burn off the energy, and then you're ready to go back to bed. And if you have been up in the night and you wake up tired, hacks, high protein snacks, even high protein snacks like the protein balls I made there on Monday. Make those, have those, and just focus on getting protein in if you've had a rubbish night's sleep, the hydration around the water. If you can, try and have a power nap. Another top tip, 10-15 minutes, set the timer on your phone and lie down. You don't even need to fall asleep. It's just literally to shut your eyes. It'll feel good. It'll refresh you. So think if you can have a power nap, but appreciate that's not always possible. And then the next evening, so that evening after you've had a whole day of getting through on little sleep, then I'll look at getting to bed early. And like I say, team, go by how you feel. Like, we're so tuned into data and fitness trackers telling us whether we've had a rubbish night or not. You're the best. You're the best expert in your body. I say this to everyone, you are the expert in your body. So really focus on how you're feeling and the quality of your sleep. And again, if you try the natural supplements, the sleep routine, the protein snacks, the hydration, nothing seems to be working, then go and have the conversation with your doctor, because these drops and dips and hormones, they have such a massive impact on our life. But don't put up with it. If it's taken away from the quality of your life and you're feel like you're a walking zombie, then please go and speak to your medical practitioner. All right, team, if you want any more information on the supplements, where to go to read about that so you can make an informed decision for yourself, then give me a shout, drop in the DMs, #replay if you're watching on the replay. And for the guys on Instagram, remember, it won't be repeated on there. So head over to the Healthy Well Women or YouTube to catch the replay. All right, team, have a good night's sleep, and I shall catch you